I'm Trish. Welcome back to my channel. We had such an amazing response to the Crockpot bread recipe that I did a few days ago that I wanted to experiment and make some other things that we could bake in a Crockpot. And I got lucky because Walmart delivered my canned pumpkin and it looks like a semi ran over it. So I'm going to have to use this sooner than I planned. I thought that we would try and make some pumpkin bread today. Now, I don't have an actual recipe for this, but we can talk about the basics of what makes a good quick bread, and we'll do an experiment and see how it works. And as usual, I thought that we'd chit-chat while we do our work. This can is so damaged, it's difficult to even open it. This is fun. Okay. Almost. We are not going to let Walmart win on this one. There we go. We got it. And like the other recipe, I'm doing this one low tech because not everybody has a hand mixer or KitchenAid, and I don't think you need one. For a lot of years, I did all of my baking and mixing by hand. Pumpkin bread is kind of fun. It's one of those quick breads. You don't have to let it proof. You don't need any yeast. And it's delicious for breakfast in the morning. You can make an optional cream cheese spread if you want to. I've got that in there. And the next thing I'm going to add is some eggs. I don't know how many. I'm going to add at least 2. So there's 1. There's 2. Okay, and we're going to mix it with a wire whisk. Now, the secret to anything really yummy, like what you buy at Costco, you know how their muffins are so moist and dense and they're just delicious? It's coconut oil. I've never worked there. I've not read the ingredients, but I can taste it. Coconut oil is delicious and it enhances the flavor of everything else. I've just poured in about 1/3 of a cup and I melted it in the microwave prior to getting started here. Now we're going to need a little bit of flour. And again, this is an experiment for me too, so I'm not sure how much. We'll just add a couple of spoonfuls and see. My spoonfuls tend to be about 1/2 cup when I measure them out. So here's a cup and a 1/2. And we'll stir that in. Flour is our binding agent. So the pumpkin is our flavor, and then the eggs and the flour are what hold it together. So all quick breads are going to need some flour and some eggs. Unless you do banana, you don't have to add eggs to banana bread. I have done that successfully without eggs. So if you're vegan, you might give that a try. And I want it to be sweet, so I'm going to add some sugar. So I've got 4 rounded tablespoons. I have no idea if that's enough, if it's too much. I'm going to smell it. Okay. And we want to add baking powder because it's really important that this forms some kind of bubbles, and we don't want it to be like a pumpkin pie where it's very dense. you need little pockets of air. So let's add about a tablespoon of baking powder. And then to enhance the flavor, I always add salt. Salt just brings out the richness of anything else that you put in there. So if you want it to taste more like what it is, add salt. I wasn't sure if I was going to need some milk. I got it out just in case. I'm going to use a little bit of vanilla because yum. I had just a few drops there. There was probably about a quarter teaspoon. And cinnamon. You can't make pumpkin anything and not have cinnamon. We'll be generous with that. Okay. And ground cloves. Let's see. I had a feeling this wasn't opened yet. It looked a little too full. Cloves are kind of strong, so you want to go easy. Still smells good. I'm just going to do a light sprinkle of that and ground ginger. Kind of go light on that. Oh, this smells so good. It smells like Thanksgiving. I think I'm going to add a little more sugar. That's about another quarter cup if I had to guess. And I'm going to put a little bit of milk in here. Quick breads usually work better if they're a little bit runny when you start. So there's about a quarter cup of milk too. Oh, this looks good. Yeah, I think this is going to work out well. Just to be safe, I'm going to put the last egg in here. Oh, that smells good. I think I want more cinnamon though. Where did we put that? You can't go wrong with cinnamon. Cinnamon's just yummy. Remember, we measure from the heart. And here's the secret. Anything with 3 eggs and some flour is eventually going to solidify if you bake it long enough. So, if nothing else, you're making a pumpkin flavored quiche. I've got my rubber spatula and I have lined my crock pot with baking paper. Remember, that's what makes it easier to pull out. Otherwise, you've just got a hot mess on your hands. And I'm using this to scrape the inside of the bowl and pour it into the paper liner. Okay, Let's put a towel on this and we're gonna set it on low for 2 hours and check it. I suspect it's gonna take 3, but the towel will absorb extra moisture and help it to bake, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we're gonna set this on low and I'm going to cover it with a towel. A crock pot really doesn't get all that hot, so I don't worry about this catching fire. It'll be fine. So I've just got your basic kitchen towel on there. It's set on low and we'll give that about 2 hours and we'll check back, but I think it'll probably take 3. I'm gonna know it's done when I touch the center and it springs back. Well, it's been 2.5 hours. Let's see what we have here. Oh, look at that. That is perfect. And it springs back. Oh yeah, I think that is ready to come out. Here's our finished pumpkin loaf, fresh from the crock pot. We didn't need an oven for this. It's really beautiful. I'm going to slice into it and see what the inside looks like. Oh wow, that looks delicious. That is really beautiful. It smells delicious. Here it is, the final product. It's completely delicious and it was so easy. There was no proofing time needed, no yeast. It only used about a cup and a half of flour, 3 eggs, a little baking powder, some salt, and spices. You can do this. It's going to be wonderful. Bon appetit.